Hello everyone, this week's parasha is Parashat VaEra. In Parashat VaEra, we are beginning the Exodus. We are beginning Yetziat Mitzrayim, the beginning of the end of our first exile as a Jewish people. We're not quite there yet. We're not leaving Egypt right now, but it's the beginning. It's the beginning of the 10 plagues. 7 out of 10, the next 3 are next week. But there's a really important question here that the Beit Yaakov from Ishbitza brings up. He says, why did the plagues break the Egyptians? The Egyptians went through 7 years of famine. They probably went through most of these plagues in other words, which means when there wasn't any food, the wild animals came into the cities and probably attacked people. The animals were starving. The people that died rotted and from the ground, lice came up and attacked everyone. There was no food in the field, right? So they went through most of this. A lot of people lost their firstborn. They went through most of this already. Why does this break them and the 7 years of famine do not? And listen carefully, because this is a very, very important message of understanding why. He answers, the Ishbitzer answers, he says it was because they saw the Jews not suffering while they were. They were focusing on other people. They were focusing on the Jews in their place, not suffering from the plague. And that breaks them. And this is such an important life lesson. To understand this Egyptian mentality, to understand a very big part of the Western mentality of what does he have? Why don't I have what he has? One of the 10 commandments, lo tachmod. Don't want what the other person has. It's not an action that you're doing. It's just a thought. But it's understanding that chasing after what other people have, you'll never be happy with what you have. Rav Nachman from Breslov has an unbelievable story called Maaseh Michacham V'Tam, a story from the wise and the simple man. These are 2 best friends, the wise man and the simple man. And they grow up together, and the simple man is simple, and the wise man is wise. And the wise man keeps on going from place to place and becoming wiser, and no place that he ever gets to is ever enough for him. He gets from one job to the next. He becomes a doctor, a professor, an expert in diamonds, an expert in this, an expert in that, and he's never, ever, ever happy. And nothing he does ever gives him that satisfaction, because he's always looking for something that someone else has, always looking for something deeper, even when sometimes there isn't. And the simple man is simple. And we're going to focus a bit on him, because that is the point of this Dvar Torah, is understanding that exact point. The simple man is a shoemaker, and he makes shoes, and there are other shoemakers in the village. And in part of the story, the wife of the simple man asks him, she says, why does Yankel make 5 rubles for her shoes, and you only make 3 rubles? And he looks and says, this is how Yankel makes shoes, this is how I make shoes. Would you have wanted to be Yankel's wife? And he says a beautiful sentence, which summarizes everything, and is a great, great, great philosophy for understanding how to live a happy life. He says, Ze ma'aseh shelo, v'ze ma'aseh sheli. This is his story, this is my story. And that is key to be happy. Key to be happy is understanding he has his story, he has his life. I don't want his challenges, I don't want his relationships, I don't want his money. I want my relationships, my challenges, my money, my life, my story. And every single person's story is different. And it comes, your kids are with challenges that you're prepared for. You don't want other people's children. You want your children. They come with challenges catered for you. You don't want other people's parents. They come with challenges catered for you, and you come catered for them. Life is catered for you. And if you learn to focus on yourself and what you have, you will be a very happy person. Ezehu ashir hasamech bechelko. Who is a wealthy person? The person who is happy with what he has. Shabbat shalom.